Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today
Why is this here?
to sing about a thing called love. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
Board games.
and
Board gamey things.
exactly. We're here today because it is still October, and with October comes villains. Very scary stuff. It's okay, kids. You don't need to be afraid. The villains typically don't win in the end. Unless, sometimes, if you're playing a game such as Villainous, in that case, villain always wins.
Villains can't lose.
They can't lose. And so today's video is all about villains that we would like to see as villains in Villainous.
That's a lot of the word villain.
That's true. So I've come up with a list, and the reason why is because I know more about Disney than Jeff does. So Jeff knows some of these villains, but you probably don't know all of them.
Probably
But
not.
feel free to throw anything out there, okay?
Well, I picked 2 Star Wars villains.
And Jeff has picked some Star Wars
Just
villains.
2. I only picked 2.
Did you make sure that they weren't already in the game?
I did.
Perfect. Good job, Jeff.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you to our channel sponsor, Raskellers, for giving me this sweet little podium.
This is cool.
It's so cool. Okay, so let me dive in. For anybody that doesn't know, Villainous is one of my favorite games of all time.
Both of ours now.
Both of ours now.
I think it's in my top 10.
I love that.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it is too. So in Disney Villainous, or Star Wars Villainous, or Marvel Villainous, you play as a villain from the Disney world. Not Disney World, maybe, but the Disney universe. Franchise. And there are a bunch of villains that are already out. As an example, my favorite villain is already in the game. Her name is Yzma. This is her as a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite villain of all time?
In the game or?
In general. All time.
Probably Jafar.
Jafar. He's also already in the game. So those 2 are already out. Okay, Jeff, are you ready for my first one?
Yep.
The first one, and probably my most hopeful, fingers crossed that this happens, is Hopper from A Bug's Life.
It was Oogie Boogie before.
It was Oogie Boogie.
You were calling for Oogie Boogie long before Oogie Boogie became a thing. Exactly.
That's why I'm doing this list, because maybe if Ravensburger sees it, they'll be like, those are great ideas. There's only so many villains that they could do. But Hopper is from A Bug's Life. I don't know if you have seen A Bug's Life, but this dude is terrifying. Like, actually so scary.
Yeah, he looks scary too.
He's a big cricket. Well, I guess he's a cricket. Maybe he's big for a cricket.
Isn't he a grasshopper?
He's a grasshopper. He's big for a grasshopper. That's right. I don't know.
His name's Hopper.
His name is Hopper. So don't you ever like kind of go back and forth between them? They do the same thing. They both don't.
They're so different.
Are you sure he's not a cricket?
Positive.
Okay, anyway.
Actually, I don't. I'm not positive.
He flies, so he's
a
grasshopper.
I'm like 80%
He flies.
sure.
He's a grasshopper. Okay.
And his name's Hopper.
And his name is Hopper. It's all coming together now. So Hopper is a grasshopper in A Bug's Life. He's terrifying. If you've ever been to Disney World and you've been, or Disneyland used to, there's an attraction called The Bug's Life.
It's going away.
And it's going away, and that's
sad.
Tragic. But Hopper is so scary in that. And in the movie, he's just so intense, and he's actually evil. Like, you know how there's some villains that have redeeming qualities? He has none.
No.
He's terrifying.
Yeah.
So that's my number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
My next one is Shan Yu from Mulan. Have you seen Mulan? Excuse me?
I haven't, no.
Mulan is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies, and Shan Yu is also just pure evil, terrifying. He is huge. He is burly. He doesn't barely say a word, and all he does is like
scowl,
stares at you, and he's like, I'm taking over. I'm gonna kill the emperor. He's terrible. Jeff, I'm gonna show you a picture of this guy.
Sure. Oh yeah, he's scary looking.
He's terrifying.
Yeah.
Very, very scary. I feel like he's meant to resemble like
Genghis Khan?
Yes. Very similar to that. So just like, I hate him. He's pure evil, but I think he would make an excellent character in Villainous because I can think of like his objectives. You're trying to kill the Emperor, you're trying to take over China, like all of these different things. And then you got Mulan and Mushu coming to save the day. Next up on my list is Madame Medusa. Madame Medusa. This is from The Rescuers. I doubt you've seen The Rescuers. I'll show you a picture of her. She gives me Cruella de Vil vibes a little bit. She is just like...
Her eyes look like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, she's basically trying to like kidnap and kill this kid throughout the whole movie, and the little mice come to save the kid. We have to watch The Rescuers if you haven't seen it. It's such a good movie, but she, like, I used to watch this movie all the time when I was a kid.
That sounds like a real villain. Do you know how, like, usually it's a fantastical villain?
Yeah.
That sounds like a real villain. Like, that could actually be a real villain.
Yeah. It is. A kidnapper.
Yeah.
Kidnapper, basically. I think she could be really fun in the same way that, like, Madame Mim is fun. She's not, like, a magical or anything, but she's, like, just unhinged. She's totally unhinged. She's, like, a mix of Madame Mim and Cruella de Vil.
It'd be cool if there was, like, a mechanic or a mechanism where, like, she's so erratic.
Yes.
That, like, you don't even sometimes have control over her.
Yeah, she wants to be, like, fancy, but really she's just crazy. Next up on my list, and I don't know how they could do this one specifically based on like what the goal would be, because this guy is also very problematic. It's Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Once again,
that's
pure
almost too evil.
He's like, there are some, I've already said it, there are some that have redeeming qualities. There are some villains that are just fun. Like Hades is fun. Like and Yzma is a fun villain. Like they're bad, but they're fun. Frollo is like evil incarnate. Like he's terrible.
That might be like the most evil, like genuine evil, like real world evil that I could think of. Yeah,
he's terrible. But I still really want to see him in this game because like when I think of like Disney villains, he is one that comes top of mind to me. I don't know. I know not a lot of people probably like love The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm a Disney kid, so when I used to get a new Disney movie, I would watch it over and over and over again. And I loved The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I had a video game called Jolly Bowling. The goat's name was Jolly. And you would like run down the bowling aisle with the goat and you like bowl with him.
What?
Yeah, it was so much fun. Anyways, I don't know how they would do his goals or anything like that and keep it, But
I'm sure they could figure it out.
I would want to see. I want
think that's fair. I mean, I agree.
I'm not great at coming up with like what their goals would be. Like Hopper would be trying to like squash the queen or like try and steal all the food from the ants. And like Shan Yu would be trying to like take over China, basically, because that's what he's trying to do. Madame Medusa would be trying to get the diamond from the little girl's teddy bear. And Frollo, I don't know, and I don't want to think about what it might be. So Disney and Ravensburger can figure that one out. My number 5, before you do a Star Wars one, is going to be a little bit different. But it is the Headless Horseman. Yeah. Right?
That'd be cool.
So the Headless Horseman is not, like, the story wasn't created by Disney, but Disney did an Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman movie. And the Headless Horseman is a character that goes around Disney during Halloween time. And I just think, how cool would that be?
I think that would be cool.
It's not like a standard character.
It's not a standard character, and a lot of people, like, I think know about that story or that character, so I think a lot of people would, like, resonate with that.
Yeah. I feel like
and it's a bit outside the traditional box.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like this is another one that they could do. In the same way they're doing Oogie Boogie, you could do, like, a standalone Headless Horseman, because it's just, like, such a unique character. Yeah. And I don't know what his goal would be. Find his head.
I'm going to show my age here because the two I picked are actually from like the original Star Wars. And I wanted to pick one that is pretty obvious. And that's Emperor Palpatine.
Unlimited power.
And I was trying to think about like how it would work. And I think it'd be really cool if they could figure out a way to like transition like Emperor Palpatine like manipulating in Anakin. Like the newer movies, like not even Anakin, but maybe, but like manipulating like the political scheme that he set up and like but this whole time he's actually like, you know, a Sith Lord. So like there's like this transition on the board between like him being like politician Emperor Palpatine and then actually being the Emperor. Like I think it'd be a really cool dichotomy of those two characters who are the same person but they play different roles in the series. I think that'd be really cool. And again, like other than like Darth Vader, I think he's like the most...
He's terrifying.
Gross.
He's gross.
And like there's so many tropes that he, like his character nails, like that power hungry, like it resonates to like so many levels that I'm a bit surprised he's not already in it.
I think he'll be like the main feature of another box.
If I'm to like to rank Star Wars villains, and again, like I'm showing my age, and like my brother grew up with the OG Star Wars, and so I did by proxy. It's Darth Vader and the Emperor. Like that's 1, 2.
Yeah.
And I think that he has to be in it at some point. And again, I think that'd be a really... His character would play so well into that.
Yeah. Okay, the next one Jeff and I are both going to love. And that is Edgar from the Aristocats. Edgar would be a fun villain.
Can I throw back something at you?
Yeah.
My only concern is like, I feel like it would be somewhat mechanically the same as Cruella.
Yeah, but different. Because he only has to get 3 cats.
Sure.
So basically, like in the Aristocats, Edgar is the butler. And this old lady who is very, very rich dies and leaves her entire fortune to her cat and all of the kittens. And not to the butler who looked after her in her old age. So he's trying
Which is a piss off.
Yeah. So he's trying to kill the kittens. Now, there would be like a... I don't think that in any of they say defeat.
Yeah.
So I think it would be capture the kittens, possibly.
Yeah. That's why I was mentioning it'd be the Cruella de Vil similarity.
Yeah, so capture the kittens, and basically he's trying to ship them to Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Right? That's like
correct.
The whole
yeah.
big thing. So capture the kittens, ship them to Timbuktu. But I think Edgar is so fun.
I just want to quickly, like, Aristocats was one of my favorites growing up.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know that it was, like, kind of a under-the-radar movie.
Right.
Like, not a lot of people talk about it. It doesn't get a lot of, like, conversation in when people are talking about Disney movies. But, like, I always thought it was always one of my favorites.
Same. I love the geese.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. You can picture their little butts wiggle. Okay, the next one on my list is one of my favorite Disney movies, and that is Tarzan, and this is Clayton. Clayton? He's the big hunter guy.
I don't know if I've seen Tarzan.
Tarzan is so good. It's so, so good.
Here's the deal. I shouldn't say I haven't seen them.
You just don't remember.
I probably did when I was a kid. But I haven't seen them since I was very young.
Right. So Clayton is trying to capture the...
God, that freaking thing.
I know. It's so annoying. And it's like only when we film it comes out. In Tarzan, Clayton is accompanying Jane and her father, who are there to do research and watch the gorillas. But of course, he wants to capture the gorillas, take them back to England, or kill them and use them for
their
whatever.
Fur or whatever.
So I hate Clayton, but I think he'd make a great villain. I think he could also be one of those, like... I don't know if he'd be the most fun, but I just love Tarzan.
The only thing that I struggle with, like, some of these, like, real ones, like Frollo and stuff, is, like, I don't want them to win.
Yeah.
So then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to win with Frollo. I would feel like...
Yeah, that's fair. It's actually fair. Okay, the next one on my list is actually a movie that we watched recently, and that is King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph. How much fun would he be?
Wreck-It Ralph. Okay. Can I just jump in quick before you continue?
Of course.
I just watched Wreck-It Ralph for the first time. I thought it was fine. Like, it's a fine movie. It felt not Disney. I think that's my problem with Wreck-It Ralph. It didn't give me the magic of Disney. But what I want to say is, like, that movie would play so well into Villainous.
Yes.
Just because it's, like, it's already, like, video game themed.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's a dynamite pick.
So, like,
Yeah.
King Candy essentially is trying to get Vanellope out of his game because she's a glitch, and he says he doesn't want the game to glitch and all of these
It's
things.
actually because she's the best racer.
There's a bunch of things, for sure. But I just think, like, imagine how colorful it would be and so fun. The artwork would be amazing.
I think
so
people
I would love to
freak out
see.
about that.
Yeah, King Candy would be amazing. I don't know if many people are going to be like, that'd be amazing, but I think it would be cool. And it's Mor'du, who is the big bear in Brave. So Mor'du is the bad guy in Brave, but it's just this big bear that's trying to, like, eat the family, and basically this bear, like,
so it's just a bear doing bear things.
Exactly. But he's like a vicious bear, and so Merida's father, like, the bear ate his leg, and he has a peg leg. And then, like, there's this whole story where her mom turns into a bear, and, like, everybody's against bears, obviously, because he got his leg eaten. But Mor'du is this big, huge, vicious bear, and I have no idea how you would do it, but I love Brave. I recently read a book called Bravely, which is like a retelling of Brave, like after the movie. And so I'm just really into it. So I know that it's probably a very specialized one that people probably aren't, like, dying to have Mor'du, but I think it would be really cool. My last one, another one that I think could be a standalone, it is the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion.
Hatbox Ghost?
The main ghost. The one that traps everybody in the house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's called the Hatbox
I didn't know
Ghost.
his name. Yeah, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Something about Haunted Mansion. Please. That could easily be a standalone set with the Hatbox Ghost as the main bad guy. And he would have all of, like, you know, the corpse bride who kills all of her husbands and, like, all of, like, the hitchhiking ghosts and everything could be in that game. How much fun would that be?
Imagine if it had, like, your board had, like, a little secret, like, attic thing, because that's
Imagine the board stretched.
That's where she is. So, like, you have to, like, do things to, like, get her out, and when you do, it stretches the board up, and then she's in the attic.
Yeah. I need it.
We should be game
I
designers,
want to
man.
see Disney go beyond just, like, the Disney movie villains. Like, I think bigger, right? Because, like, Tower of Terror, you could do something that themed. Like, I don't know who the villain would be. But anyways, there's so many different things you could do. But Haunted Mansion
that hits the...
should be, the lightning. Now, before you say your last Star Wars one, I did just want to say I would like to recognize that there is one very obvious villain missing from Villainous. Chernabog. The one from Phantasmic. Like, basically,
the big monster dude,
he's
right?
Like the devil, basically. Yeah. He's like this huge...
Chernabog, yeah.
And he is, like, actually scary.
Terrifying.
If anybody's watched Phantasmic, you know. Very scary. Very, very scary.
That's a good shout.
But, like, I'm actually, like, I believe that they will do that. I'm surprised they did the Horned King, actually, before they did that. But he's not one that I would... Is Horned King
from that as well?
No, he's from the Black Cauldron. It's one that I wouldn't be as excited about because, like, I just find him scary.
What would he...
He'd be trying to kill Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, what would his goals be just to kill Mickey Mouse? Like, there's no way Disney's going to let that be a thing.
Well, defeat Mickey Mouse, I guess.
Yeah. I think most people would, like, kind of anticipate me to say something like Darth Maul here. I think that's an obvious choice, but I wanted to pick a character that wasn't, like, a Jedi-Sith combo. More so on lines of someone like Boba Fett, and that's Jabba the Hutt.
That's what I was going to pick.
I think Jabba the Hutt would be really cool because, like, he is just like a mobster. He's like the mobster of Star Wars, and you could have like a bunch of different characters that like help you run contracts, like similar to how Ursula has contracts that you have to put on characters. Like you could run a similar contract type thing with Jabba the Hutt, or like how Prince John has like those wanted posters things. Like I feel like you could do a weird little like contract thing there. That would be really cool. Yeah. Sending your little mercenaries out on jobs and stuff. Yeah. And again, like I didn't want to keep just hammering out the Jedi stuff. So I thought Jabba. When they announced the Boba Fett one, I thought Jabba the Hutt was going to be in that.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They're obviously going to do that.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Jabba the Hutt didn't come out at some point. But yeah.
I also wanted to just give you my short list of the ones that I didn't pick, but I didn't pick Shere Khan from the Jungle Book, the tiger. Hans from Frozen. Because, like, he's a villain, but, like...
He's kind of a dweeb.
Yeah, he's such a dweeb. Ratcliffe from Pocahontas, but once again...
That's tough.
That's a tough one to do. Any of the other... Actually, specifically Sid from Toy Story.
Yes.
But they've only done Lotso, but they could do Emperor Zurg, they could do Stinky Pete,
I think
they
Sid
could do
would be
Sid.
awesome.
Sid would be awesome. I also had Darla from Finding Nemo.
The fish girl? Yeah.
Fishy, why are you sleeping? She's like the only villain in that movie, basically.
And she's in it for a very brief amount of time.
Yeah, but anyways, those were some of the other ones that I thought could
do Bruce.
Could be fun. Bruce is not a bad guy.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think it would be funny if it was Bruce, but he was like, bad Bruce.
Contemplating.
Yeah, bad Bruce, good Bruce.
Oh, that would actually be really cool. Yeah, that'd be a cool mechanic.
Bruce.
Anyways, those are some characters that we would love to see in any of the upcoming Villainous sets. We didn't talk about Marvel. Our preference is Disney Villainous and Star Wars Villainous.
I don't know enough about Marvel to really have an opinion.
Yeah, if I wanted Marvel, I'd be looking at some, like, I guess, old school villains instead of, like, you know, I don't even know if they've done Thanos. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, we don't really play Marvel Villainous that much. But that is The Fly is the villain in my story. That is everything that we have for today. Let us know in the comments below who you would like to see as any of the upcoming Villainous baddies. We'd love to know. But if you are interested in board games like Villainous, the first thing that you should do is check you should check your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
Boardroom Game Cafe.
Yes, it is. Do you like snacks?
I do.
Where do you get snacks?
Lunch pack.
Perfect. And I also just want to say, keep your eyes peeled for our next upcoming Villainous tournament coming at the end of the month. Hopefully.
It coming.
Everything goes as planned. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days.
And guess what was happening?
What?
The camera was focusing on Mrs. Claus's eye and not mine.
It's creeping you out?
Yes, because it was like she was staring into the camera's soul. You smell like the outdoors. Look at this.
Nice. Weird angle.
I think she would be really fun. She's kind of like... Did you see that fly?
Yeah, that's over there.
Is that the same fly?
It's been down here for weeks.
It probably wants to die as much as we want it to die because it can't get out of here.